welcome to the Ambulance Show. I'm your host, International Master William Pascal, and we are hosting the Pawnda Sloth Rapid, because I quit Blitz, really. I'm just not going to play Blitz anymore. Alright. Yeah. Hollywood movies don't do justice to it. Anyway. So. Whoa! Someone just dropped out. We just lost a player. We're decreasing. I'm going to announce this again. Hello! Esmerchea. Staff Oregon. Camel Clouseau. Alright. Copy. Let's send a message again. To the Pawnda team. We have only 4 players. Alright, message all members. Emergency! Last call. For weekly Pawnda Rapid, Pawnda Sloth, Rapid. No excuses. Join us. Or I will steal your souls. I will steal your souls. Alright. Here. Let's go. Paste. I'll sign it. Pawnda. Alright. There it is. Boom. Heard of the Buffalo. Have you heard of the Buffalo? I've never been to Buffalo. Personally. Have I been to Buffalo? Pawnda Sloth Rapid. Guys, we're hosting 5-round rapid tournament. Swiss, casual. 3 minutes between rounds. We've got Sparklehurst. Wow, Goiju is now higher rated than Staff Oregon. Goiju is up to 2136, pushing the boundaries of 2200. Staff Oregon been tough with me lately. Boomber, this is a new account, at least for the team. Acerbate 1679, ST33. Look, we're getting like tons of players. Oh, the emergency notification just worked like a charm. Acerbate ST33, Nick Jotham, Niles, please don't play the Bon Cloud reversed. Lakey. Bijak just subscribed. I was wondering where Bijak was. Boom. Subscribe for 16 months. Donate for a pair of glasses for your favorite international master chess streamer. I thought he said 10 months. I thought it said 10 months, but I can't read. You're overrated. I didn't say that. You're improving. Uh-oh, somebody was deleted by the moderator. Too many caps. We just boomed. We're up to 10 players. Nice. We're up to 10 players. Very good, very good. We need camel culture. The higher rated group is I don't know. It seems like the low rated players like the rapid, whereas before we were alternating with blitz. I think the high rated players seem to prefer the blitz, although camel culture's in. I haven't seen Aldisto since we started doing exclusively rapid. Aldisto, OMS, those guys. But it could just be seasonal. Oh yeah, Schieberspieler never plays anymore. He was on earlier, but I think he's probably busy with school. Alright. Guys, we're starting in 10 minutes. What's up? What's up with the real chess world, huh? Anybody playing over the board chess? Bijak? Camel culture? Acerbate, when does the over the board chess start? You were with a player who tested positive for COVID. You were sitting next to Joe Biden. Some COVID positive person was sitting next to Joe Biden recently. But don't worry, it's just Omicron, hopefully. Hopefully it's just only the Omicron. You'll be alright. Move 11 had it. He never plays in our tournaments either. I'm a little disappointed with Move 11. He was in the chat for a second there. But he's working, I guess. You tested a negative. Yeah, you never know. When I got COVID, I tested negative, like, you know, before I tested positive, so. I would at least get tested twice. Personally. What's going on? Can I join? Yes. You have to be a member of the Pawnda and Horses Club. Are you a member? It will cost you $0 to join our club. But you have to, where's my paste button? You have to apply. Application is easy and simple. Dude, look at this. That's like 20 minutes ago. I like when I do the back button, it takes me back in time. Proof that time doesn't really exist. There's a lot of physics articles claim time as we think it exists doesn't really exist. I was never one very good with physics, though. Never took a physics class, did I? That explains why I don't know physics. Alright, anyway. Sparkle Horse, Camel Culture, Goiju, Stabvargan, Sumahair, Boomber, Astrobate, ST33, Niles. We're back down to 10 players now. Okay, you did it. Mr. Coffee. We did get a request. XZYTNAOW. Almost looks like a Chinese name in Latin characters. Alright, let's go. What do you mean time doesn't exist? Well, you know, the classical way of thinking about time, there's a lot of physicists who think that our conception of time is not real. The way we think about time doesn't really exist. But this is like philosophical. Too philosophical. Basically, time isn't necessarily linear. All right. Don't ask me, man. I don't know. I never even took a single class in physics. I avoided it. I had a really bad physics teacher in high school I didn't like, and never had the occasion to take it in college. Everything's happening at the same time. The past, present, and the future. Let's get these chess nerds talking about science. Alright. That explains my blunders, you know, when I'm like hanging pieces. Piece is really there. I mean, you know, it used to be. All of my blunders are due to some sort of physical abnormality in the space-time continuum. I don't know. Alright. Anything interesting? Anyone? Anything interesting coming up? Cheesemate, welcome. We need new linear time, non-linear time controls. Well, I have a friend, not non-linear, but I have a friend who was thinking that he was suggesting that we have like big increments and less base time. You know how the standard time control is like 90 minutes with some kind of, you know, smaller increment or whatever? What if we did it the other way? Like we had big increments and smaller initial time. No one ever wants to try that, for example. Alright. You just like get your increments, and then you have like your bathroom time allotment. You know, you can like have a 10-minute like go to the bathroom break. 30 seconds per move, or like a minute per move plus 15 minutes or something, where you could get a coffee and go to the bathroom during the game. I think that makes sense. Ooh. That's what they have before chess clocks? Ring a gong. We're not talking about classic rock here, Mr. Coffee. There was rapid transfer blitz chess. I don't know how that worked. Whatever that was. But I quit blitz. Alright. 7 minutes to go. Do we really have 7 minutes? No. 3 minutes to go. Cowbell. What we really need is girls in bikinis walking around ringing little bells every time it's time to make a move. We'll be progressive. Holding up round cards. Or girls, whatever you like. Girls and guys. Everyone. Like boxing. I want to be politically correct on the stream today. Oh man, alright. No, seriously. Chess cult. Let's create a chess cult. Cult of Vanna. Sparkle Horse, Camel Clutcher. We try to be politically correct, but I've got people like Camel Clutcher in the tournament. Cheesemate, Uber Driver, Dinakis is here, Guiju, Stavorgan, El Shakmat, Quam, Sumaher, Boomber, Asterbait, however you pronounce it, ST33, Niles, and Lakey. 16 players so far. Good luck, everybody. Chess boxing. Yeah, whatever happened to Lennox Lewis? Somehow I doubt Mike Tyson is a strong player in chess. I'd like to see Arnold do chess boxing. Just thinking of like really big people who play chess. I've never actually been to chess boxing. Only poker chess. Poker chess. Biathlon. Jake Paul. Can't imagine a high level of chess playing there. Oh no. Uber Driver with a 60s reference in the chat room. Join us in the modern era, Uber Driver. There's always this 2300 feet guy who can't box and loses by KO. Well, he used to be 2300 feet until he got like his brains beat in. Now he's like whatever you call it when you have like too many concussions, like in the NFL. Alright, El Shakmat. This is not the first time I had to play El Shakmat first round. Good luck. You played a simul against Danny the King. Mr. Chess Base. Alright. Yeah, I hate playing the English and then running into E6. You can't get around the Queen's Gambit, right? So I probably played E4 against him before, I'm gonna guess. We've only played 6 games. I like to do this to confound the Queen's Gambit players who don't necessarily play the French. Move 11 mentioned to me, like, this is really crazy, but an American GM, what's his name? Alex Fishbein apparently wrote a book on the French exchange variation. Speaking of chess boxing, I couldn't imagine anything more boring than writing a book about the French exchange variation, but at least this line with like c4, he's like, what chess book can I write that would be guaranteed to sell the minimum amount of copies possible? I think, yeah, I'll write a book about the French exchange variation. No, you can resign anytime, Shaki. Or offer a draw. Maybe they'll accept a draw. But what's the problem? Like, you can play another game or something in the interim. You just have to, like, keep the tab open. No big deal, right? It's not like it's an arena where other people are, like, racking up points while you're waiting for your opponent's time to run. You know? It doesn't really inconvenience you, does it? I mean, you close the window and do something else. I mean, in an arena, that's really annoying. But here, it's no big deal, you know? Just, okay, it's a free point. You know, go play some blitz games in the interim or something. What if they show up during the game? They did that to me before. That's really the only real problem, is like they show up when they have 2 minutes left and then you're like doing something else. You're shaving or something. Oh, I just remembered something funny. That was the weirdest thing I ever saw anyone do during a tournament game. We were playing in a tournament in South America, and this Canadian GM, Alexander de la Siege, I went in the bathroom and he was like in the bathroom shaving during his game. I'm like, what are you doing, man? You're shaving while you play? That's a new one. I never saw anybody. I was like, okay. I guess it was really itchy or something. So what am I supposed to do here? Yeah, this is standard. I did like a double take. I went in to like use the bathroom to pee. I'm like, wait, you're seriously shaving? It's better if your opponent is like late or something. I could see that. Like, your opponent's late, yeah, perfect time to go shave or something. Wasn't my opponent. He was somebody else's opponent. I was just like, what are you doing, dude? That's weird. That's kind of weird. It's like opponent was there, you know, the clock was just running. He was just like shaving. Okay. Topalov would have made a scandal, huh? Alright, takes castles. I feel like we played this position before. This is... Yeah, it was... Now, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure... Actually, I don't remember. If I had to testify under oath, I think it was like... It wasn't an electric razor. But I wouldn't be able to... I don't think I could, like, swear 100%. The electric razor would be faster. I really couldn't be sure, though. Just the whole thing, that was weird. Just a random story that just popped in my head, but it is weird, man. Alright. So in honor of Play the Exchange French by Alex Fishbein, the Exchange French. I don't think he's recommending c4 though, which is like more dynamic than standard Exchange French. Thanks everybody for playing. Don't forget to gift a sub. Be part of the community and support the stream. Gift a sub or subscribe. Make my chess stream great again. We've got a 5-bit donation this week. from Julesy18. Now bishop g4. Yep. So what am I going to do? I've got to take this pawn back. Yeah, this looks like pretty active play by black. He's not trying to hang on the material. A lot of people play bishop e6. I don't remember if Schieber-Spieler played it against me. I hope that our friend Yevgeny's alright. I know he was in Ukraine. He had gone back to Ukraine from Canada, fighting there, or I don't know what, you know, going back to his family. But he's one of the people who's played this, Viktorovich, Yevgeny. I hope that he's still okay. I think he was in Kiev. Schieber-Spieler was on earlier. He's probably played bishop e6 against me. But we're seeing more of an Ivan Farago. No, that was... Yeah, Ivan played this with white. Okay, I'm misremembering who's what color. Ivan played my side in a game I saw. Mr. Coffee with 1,000 bits. Let's fix that. The first and most generous donation, over 5 bits this week. Mr. Coffee with 1,000 bits. Thank you, sir. The Norelco Stockfish Razor. Someone was talking to me about stockfish and claiming that it was an actual name of a kind of fish, like in Norwegian or something. Is that true? Or is that just like somebody made that up? Bishop e3, huh? What's your problem with bishop e3? My man Asterbate, that's like his favorite square. Do you have a problem? Now knight e4. Do you have a problem with that, sir? I'm not here to play rook c1, that's for sure. So queen d3 is interesting, but it destroys my king side. Queen d3, bishop f3, pawn f3. Self king side immolation. Okay, there's also bishop d3. Though how does that get out of the pin, I don't know. Bishop d3. Bishop d3 I was looking at. Knight c3. Queen c2. And then if bishop takes a3, queen c3 there. But that looks really solid for black, actually. I don't know, I smell a rat here somewhere. There's something for white in this position. Oh, okay. Stockfish, fish such as cod, haddock, or hake, dried hard in the open air without salt. Dried hard in the open air without salt? Damn. That must be, without smoke? Without smoke or salt? So it's not smoked, at least? I'll play queen d3 if I have no other option. I mean, rook c1 seems really stupid. Maybe it's not that stupid, though. I hate rook c1. Maybe it's the lesser of the evils, though. Alright, whatever. I don't see it. I don't have to be fancy. See, I always thought, like, stockfish somehow came from, like, you know, when you have, like, a lake without fish, they say they're going to stock the lake with fish, right? So you take a freshwater pond or something and you put the fish in, and you're stocking the lake, or stocking the pond with fish, right? I assume that's what it came from all this time, and it turns out that it's from the Middle Dutch. Stokkefish. There's one Norwegian chess player I saw whose name was like Stokke, S-T-O-K-K-E. Kettlestoka. He's like an IM. Very aggressive play from El Shakmat. That's not very nice, this aggressive behavior. You're an aggressive nation. You're bad hombre. Your best whenever. Stock photo. Right. Yeah, pictures of fish. Or stockfish. Stockfish photos. You forced me to play like super salad here. I didn't want to take any risks. I'm not warmed up. I felt like Rook C1 was lame. It's like, this is the ideal open file for a rook, huh? I'm defending a pawn with a rook. Not generally preferred. But still, I mean, I have a strong center. I had the bishop pair, potentially strong in the long run. So black's got to prove something here. Uh-oh. Never play d4. Maybe? Oh. So the guys who created Stockfish are actually Finnish. Did I say Norwegian? Are they Norwegian or Finnish? There's a big difference. For some reason I was thinking Norwegian. But maybe they are Finnish. Yeah. It's all the same to a stupid American like me. Norwegian, Finnish. They're just some Scandinavian guys. I think I said Norwegian. Well, there's so many Norwegian connections though with Magnus. The guy I just mentioned. Chess, what is it? The company that Magnus Play Magnus is owned by Rook E8. Very solid play by El Shakmat. Yuna. Yuha Helpy. Finnish poker player. Okay, Rook F E8. Rook F E8. So what do I do now? Man, he's playing very solid chess. Driving me crazy here, dude. Knight D2 would be really pathetic. Next is Rook A D8, of course. We're prepared and fully expecting that in the near future, of course. What about H3, weakening my king side? Not really crazy about it. What am I crazy about here? Nothing. Not really crazy about my options here. I mean, I guess the central pawns should do something. So C4. Tactics, bishop takes, knight takes D4. Nope. He doesn't have any tactics yet, but he probably will have. He will have pressure on this pawn, so I'm gonna have to lurch forward. I simply don't know what else to do, you know. Rook D8, D5. I mean, what other option is there? Basically, it's a Petrov, and the exchange French. It is a Petrov. It's a Petrov. It's an exchange French. What else is it? But I would say, like, perfectly played game so far, of course. He's threatening to kill me now. He's luring my pawn forward, and I've got to watch out. I'm in trouble now. Maybe I'll sack my queen. Not recommended. Interesting. So now I'm just worse. Big time worse. Big time worse. I'm just gonna keep saying that. It sounds cool. So he missed a killer move, right? Knight C3. I have to sack the exchange. There's virtually no other option there. I would assume I'm in big trouble after I have to sack the exchange. Now, like, it looks like I have a manageable position. He played like a perfect game. I was just lost. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I could find some kind of compensation, like a pawn or something, for that exchange. I have the bishop pair. Maybe I could find a pawn, but I'm sure that I was worse. Now I guess it's manageable. It's a strong knight on e4. I guess I was expecting him to take the other way. I mean, I could take the pawn on a7. It looks crazy to take that. Gets trapped with b6. I can play c5, but that's probably bad. No. Feels like black has the initiative still. Let's just pin ourselves. If he plays, like, say, c6, I play rook d1, he take. I mean, is that a strong pawn or a weak pawn? Yeah, I mean, I would like to control this square and use that square, but that alone isn't gonna, like, create a lot of threats for me. It might have been safer. Objectively, it was probably safer to, like, put my queen on c2 rather than d3. But yeah, I was aiming for that square. I think also it's more natural to play, like, rook fd1. But he's got tactics here. You know, he's on the verge of playing knight takes f2. I think I might have king f2, but that could be kind of creepy. Stockfish soup. Fish soup. Talk soup. That was a TV show, funny TV show from the 90s. So you just, like, stick the fish, like, out on the clothing line and dry it. It's just dried fish. But it's got to be a cool environment for that to work. I thought dried fish would have to be, like, smoked in most cases to make sure it doesn't get, you know, nasty. That's a lot of pressure on my d5 pawn. Bro. Don't really like that, to be perfectly honest. Wonder what he's gonna do now. Putrid fish, my favorite. Putrefy. Putrefy and conquer. So that's not a trade of queens. You're not trading queens like you're supposed to. Dude. I don't want to lose my d5 pawn. Look at that knight h5. What are you doing? How dare you, like, attack me? He's attacking me over there. I have a bishop. You have less time. Now he decides to trade queens. Or allow, like, I'll say, allow the exchange of queens. Okay. Very well. If I take on a7, just, what's happening? It's alright. I think that's a mistake. But perhaps not. Like, it's a crazy idea, but I mean, what happens if he does, what do I want him to play here? Actually, no, I don't know. I don't know, but panic moment, panic button. He's pressing panic buttons. Press the panic button. He gave up a pawn. But I'm impressed. I mean, pretty good play overall. A little bit of panic. Sockfish. It's like a chess playing fish. Shockfish. Yeah, shockfish. Very funny. Dried fish soup. So D7 is bye-bye, Mr. Knight. Knighty knight? That's not good. He made it too easy for me. Clear knight up, or bishop. Bishop, if you prefer. That was a really solid game by Black. You don't get the impression that Black, was out of his element playing the black side of the exchange French there. He seemed very comfortable. But he panic tilted. Back mate. Alright, phew. Back to tournament. It must be time to play another round. One game still ongoing? Quam. Qualms. No qualms. Wow. Quam against Camel Culture. Quam has had some other tough games in the past. He is a player who's dangerous, but he plays too fastly. Too fastly and too bigly. This is a tricky position though. Camel Culture is man, he's got the crazy A-pawn. He's got the A-pawn and he's got control of that blockading square if he puts his knight on C3. Could he have played knight C3 first? Should he have played, I should say. Knight C3 first? I guess white could always blockade on A1, but that's not ideal. Wow, Povietkin, thank you. Good game. That was tough. I think you were probably better at some point, but not clear. It was a good game. You might have been better even. Though I thought that was a pretty well played game for this time control. So Camel Culture, uh-oh. No qualms about it. Not the A-pawn. FIDE ranking is 1367. That's... yeah, I mean, that's way too low. You should be at least 17, 18. But maybe you just need to play more. FIDE ratings don't matter if you don't play enough. I mean, if you've only played a few games, if you haven't played in a long time, your ratings should be a lot higher. They should use the Glicko system for ratings, like LICHESS. Of course, if you're like me and you've played thousands of games, then your rating is usually at least fairly accurate. After thousands of games. But I can get worse. Man, Kwame is kind of giving ground here. A good idea to try to trade pawns off for Kwame. He's got a tough endgame with that outside pawn, but I think that Camel Culture may have just caved a little bit with that exchange. I thought he should have played g6. Maybe there was a problem with it. They're both fast players. I mean, that king in the vicinity of the a-pawn, it should be easy for Kwame to hold now. But Camel Culture has the situation, you know, presumably under control. Or not. I mean, let's see, Kwame has this f-pawn. That's kind of annoying, huh? If you play like f6. I mean, it should be a draw at this point. Neither side should lose this position, but it's possible, of course, with Camel Culture's like advanced pawns. But if Kwame plays f6, Black's gonna have to like pick that pawn up at some point. It should be a draw, like maybe even like rook versus rook and knight or something. A worst case scenario. Pawnda be wild, so my brother is an idiot. That's nice. Well, yeah, it's all relative though. We're all idiots compared to somebody. Right. It totally depends too. I mean, you know, some people who are 1500 may be pretty good. Or seem pretty good. It looks like, you know, White's gonna have to be a little bit careful here. Or a lot careful. Camel Culture is really displaying some endgame technique. And the a3 pawn is a serious issue. How is he going to get the a3 pawn off the board? Now he's got to eliminate this. Even if he has to sack the knight, I would be like, okay, here, here. How do we get it there, you know, to sack the knight for it? Here, here, here. As long as he can sack the knight for the pawn, he should draw. So what's the best route? Like check, knight e3, knight f1? I think check, knight e3, but then you get pinned laterally. So this is safer. But if he plays knight e3, he's got a big problem, dude. Alright, let's say king f5, knight e3 check. King e5, knight e3, rook h3, king b2. You know, something like that. Here, knight e3, rook h3, king moves, and it should be a draw. He's got a nasty trap. Oh no, knight f2. Oh, so you gotta play rook takes h2 there. He missed rook takes h2. Oh my god. He missed rook takes h2. It was a draw. Now it might be lost. That's so sick. Rook f1, h1. It's not going to save him, is it? Knight g4 check. King g5. So now he's got to sack his... He's just got to take the knight, but he's lost. Oh man. Camel Culture, he's displaying some real endgame technique. Against me a while back, he played a very good endgame for for a young player. I thought, you know, relatively young. He's not an old man. So he's got some pretty good endgame technique. He's not some tactical bozo. He's got the endgame technique. That was a nice move by white, though. Man, he has the rook takes h2. Dude, it's just a draw. Rook takes h2, rook takes e3, check, king b4, and we play, but it's a draw. Okay, you would probably flag him, maybe. Schieberspieler beat me with rook and knight against knight. It's 1500, you beat who? Dinakis. Dinakis got brutally checkmated. So there's 8 players with 1 point, 9 players with 1 point. Wow, 24 players. Chesstosterone, Chess Video World, El Columbio. Where is Comoros? He was comatose in Comoros. Jeroen Asterbate lost himself the first game against Uber Driver. Oh no. Not Uber Driver. Alright, 139 left. Whatever happened to Shockey? Did he get a forfeit win? Yeah. Boomber. I don't know, Shockey. That's a new player. Sorry about that, but it happens to everybody. Happens to me, too. He was a boomer. The one disadvantage of this Swiss is that we get a lot of first-round forfeits. But I still prefer the thing. Comoros is a small island in front of East Africa, but I'm not from there. Okay. Comatose. XZYT, yeah. It looks like a generated password or something. Where's my drink? The Abraham years. Masturbate with the Bible stories. No evangelical Bible stories. I'm just making stuff up. Alright. Asterbate. Asterbate thinks about Bible stories 24/7. Oh, so your name is actually a physics pun. And that's why we were talking physics earlier. Ironically. Chess players are nerds. We're all nerds in different ways. You are playing. Join the game. Oh no, not Uber Driver with black too. Ugh. El Drawber. Gotta keep it interesting. Right? The x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. Oh no. I lost on time. Just kidding. They really have to fix that. Somebody needs to open a ticket. I'm getting rid of that red flag thing. It's not an arena. You can't lose on time if you don't make your first move in 10 seconds. That gives everybody like anxiety. Does anybody who plays over the board chess here stress when you think you've made 40 moves and you count your score sheet and you're sure you've made 40 moves, but you're still nervous? I'm afraid to get up from the board. What if I miscounted and the opponent secretly said it was only 39, you know? I never feel safe that I made the time control, even though I'm sure I did. Alright, anyway, I just wasted tons of time talking about nothing. I'm trying to get myself I'm emotional. I'm trying to get myself emotionally prepared to play Uber Driver. Yeah. No, we've gotta trick him. He's expecting me to play the Sveshnikov or something. But I'm not gonna give it to him. I'm gonna go back to the gold standard. I played the Sveshnikov, but I don't really know it. I played the Kalashnikov against somebody last week, and I don't know it at all. You know, Uberdrive's like, oh yeah, he'll give me the Sveshnikov again. No way, bro. But I only played the Accelerated Dragon for a draw. Normally. It's a draw weapon. Castle Queenside. If you play F3 and Castle Queenside Overdriver, you can be playing the same-ish King's Indian. Or you can play F4 and play the 4 pawns attack King's Indian. Move your F pawn. You can get it to a King's Indian. I have this weird feeling that Uberdriver played D4 before. But I'm just making that up, right? Has anyone here ever seen Uberdriver play D4? I've played 97 games against him. Wow. We're almost up to 100. He's like an E4 player with a D4 style. I don't know how to put it, you know? He's naturally right-handed, but he's been using his left hand his whole life, you know? He should have been playing D4 his whole life, but he's always been playing E4. That's the problem. Too much time, like, trying to be Bobby Fischer. Does anybody remember ever playing Uberdriver and that he played? I don't remember. He's constantly talking about E4 games. I just thought that maybe one of you other guys would remember. The Marazzi is really boring. And this is actually one of the more boring variations. I should have chose something different. But I have so much experience playing this that I'm not really afraid to play it against anybody, even though it sucks. I've suffered, you know, enough that it's a regular thing. I mean, I'm used to it. I'll pretty much automatically agree to a draw here against like 2300, 2275 player. Anyone like within 100 rating points. I had a couple quick draws like that. Well, the average time control is 40 moves, and then you add more time or not, you know. But in traditional tournaments, it's usually an extra time at move 40. That's the most common moment to add time. Once I played the New York Open and it was 30, and it totally messed me up. I almost lost on time and like blundered, and it was like I never played in tournaments where it was 30 move time control. And this key game against Tibor Tolnai, it just totally destroyed me. I just wasn't used to having a 30 move time control. Other than A5, I mean, I don't know what else to play here. Sometimes people play like knight D7. If you play knight D7 right away, they could try B4. People do that. Now we find out if what kind of player we're up against. If they played bishop takes g7, they're a noob. Bishop f2 is like fancy. And bishop e3 is the standard move. I thought maybe Uber Driver would go with bishop takes g7 because he likes trading pieces. This is like still main line. But black has some options here. I don't have to play one way or another. I've played different moves. He knows to play rook a c1. No, he's supposed to play rook a b1 and rook fb1. So he's playing kind of old school. This is a very old school move. You're actually supposed to, you see, that's why he's stuck in like the 70s. You're supposed to put your rooks on like b1 and fc1. But Uber Driver, like, he's constantly talking about all these like classical players. I think he must be like 80 years old or something. King h1, kind of a standard waiting move if you don't know what to do. So I have queen b4, I have a4. Geez, dude. Don't I just have a4 right away? Homie, you just let me play a4. Dogma. Killing it with dogma. King h1 might actually work out in his favor. He's actually really lucky he played king h1, in a sense. He'd really be in trouble if he hadn't played king h1 now. This is why you want your rook on b1, not on c1, for one thing. Obviously, this would be hard. I mean, he would be playing b4 right now if his rook was on b1. I couldn't do this. I like to carve open the a file and just like control the a1 square. The goal is to dominate a1. Once you completely submit, you make the a1 square submit to you by like triple attacking it on the a file. With the queen on h8, we can get like like 5 pieces, essentially, like in a big triangle controlling the a1 square. You know you have the upper hand in the position. So now his pawn structure is just like wasted, so he's worse. But I guess the active question is, how much worse? You know, how serious is this? It's not good for white. He's up a useless extra pawn that's never going to live very long. But what do I do? If I take on a4, he can play like knight to d5, which is kind of annoying. I don't think I want to do that. And if I play like queen a5, he has knight d5, and chopping the e7 pawn with check. So I probably have to move my f rook, which is fine. This is a normal move anyway, I would think. Am I going to have issues though? Maybe I should... No, I can play queen a5 because I can take... You could play queen a5. You can take... And actually, I should consider all my options here. Queen a5, knight d5, bishop d5. Queen a5 or queen b4. Queen b4 is no good because of knight d5. Or I could just ignore it and play like rook fc8. You have an opponent who really likes draws, so queen a5, knight d5, take. Let's say c takes. Queen takes b2. Queen takes d2. Queen a5 takes. Queen takes a5. Rook takes a5. Takes on d5. Then, like, what am I doing? I don't know. I mean, the truth is that I might not be that much better Maybe it's just like slightly better for black. He may still be able to get a draw with his busted pawn structure. I'm not sure this is the right move, but what else am I supposed to play? Like rook f c8 doesn't really help me. My queen is protected. Everything's protected. The point is I can take his knight on d5. DG World, welcome. Welcome to the tournament. That water is tasty. Yes! Look at that. Now he has to decide, you know, does he take c takes, queen takes d5, trade queens, and then take on d5? What does white do? Came after playing a words on stream. The what? Is that like Wordle? Wordle the turtle. I have to take the 8 pawn. Yeah. When I take his 8 pawn though, his like bishop's gonna be under attack. It's a game people can play live on stream with their audience. Yeah, I'm not familiar. I don't watch enough streams now. Chicken man. Did he win a pawn? Wait. What is that? Does that win a pawn? Totally confused. Total surprise. What? Bishop takes c4? What would Alexander Ivanov do? Rook takes. I could even play like bishop takes e4, bishop takes d6, bishop takes f3. Mr. Coffee, that thing is crazy, man. Phew, that should be banned. The dancing tongue. That's incredibly distracting. It's driving me nuts. Wow, that is... I'm gonna have to close the window. So that, like, somebody type something so it goes up the screen. That's awful. Alright. Oh, God. Bishop takes c4, rook c4, bishop c4, bishop b4, bishop e2, bishop c4, rook c4, bishop c4, bishop b6, bishop e2, bishop a5, bishop f1. Okay, so bishop c4. Why is he getting so fancy? In between with bishop takes c5. He expects me to play rook takes c5, and it's probably drawish. Keep feeling like I'm dropping a piece here. Now a big moment. Which way do I take this? Rook takes. Rookle. Mr. Rookle. Yes, it's probably a draw. But it doesn't mean it's easy. Mr. Coffee with 100 bits. Cheer. Ludwig AC. Long time no see. Yeah, I should add more like random games to keep the board viewers happy. The mark of a great stream is having all kinds of like bullshit side things to do. Because the stream itself is like essentially very boring. Ah. Yes, of course. The old bishop d5. Ye old bishop d5. Now what do I do? Oof. No pass pawn for you. Under any circumstances. Wow. Rook takes, pawn takes. Now what do I do? Pawn takes a5. That's the problem. I gotta take this way. Wait, I have a pass pawn too, right? What happens on rook b8? a5. How about my c pawn? That's not dangerous? What about my pass pawn? It's not important? No, we don't talk about that here, DigiWorld. Bishop e7. So c4, rook takes b6, c3. I'm afraid this is just a draw. He played for the draw. I don't think I'm better. I would love to get my pawn down, but maybe I can. Yeah, he kind of chickened out there. He chickened out. He was afraid to go for it. Maybe he had some real danger he had to worry about. Now theoretically I'm better. The active word, of course, is theoretically. With ops-colored bishops, it's very, very drawish. Wow. He's going for the... What's he going for? I don't know. Do I have any winning chances here? My only winning chances are probably keeping the rooks on. But if I don't exchange rooks, he's going to play bishop b5 and get counterplay anyway. I don't think I ever had a winning position in this game. I'm not up a pawn. I had this feeling I was like up a pawn because of his doubled pawns, but in reality, we're not up a pawn. Only in my fantasies am I up a pawn here. I mean, the c pawn is a serious pawn. It's a valuable pawn. It's much better than his pawns. If I play h5, how does this work now? h4. That was like one of the most annoying games ever. Still not over. 2 passers. He can lose this. Can he lose this? There's gotta be a way he can lose this. Don't lose it. You can lose it. You know you can do it. Just an 8 pawn. I have the right color rook pawn. No, I don't have a rook pawn. But I would if you like sacked that with a5. I had to take it. I could theoretically end up with the wrong color. I mean the right color rook pawn. Come on, Uber driver. You can lose it. Lose it, lose it. Ooh, I found that. It's a genius move. h4. You should have fixed it before. 2 passers. Wait a minute. That's a very interesting theoretical situation. When you have 2 pass pawns like this, like how far apart they are is probably very relevant. Mm-hmm. Wait, what am I doing? What if I played f4 check? I like torturing Uber driver here. Would it be great to have this position against like Magnus? Sees everything. Look at that. There's got to be a way to attempt to make progress here. Where are you going over there? It's only move 50. Ah. What? Alright, miracle. Miracle! I didn't think he was going to lose that. Sparkle Horse. 2 points. Cheesemate 2 points. Camel Culture 2 points. I like how Camel Culture won in like 3 moves. Against Goju. What? I'm gonna have started having investigations about like thrown games. Like, what is that position? How could that position even happen? Is that like Bug House? No throwing games to the other players. Your own with 1.5. Chest task from 1.5. Alright. We've got a total of 25 players. Thanks everybody for playing. Match fixing will be punished. We're gonna report you to FIFA for match fixing. A 13-year penalty. There was some woman tennis player recently who was handed what, like a 13-year ban or something. It's effectively the end of your career. Are my numbers right? I don't know, it was New Zealand or Australia. Maybe it was New Zealand. There was some female player. Chess match fixing. That last ending, it should have been a draw. I don't know what happened. You really need a clear plan, though. I mean, when you're playing that kind of ops color bishop with limited time, you know, you've got to envision the setup that's like, you know, impenetrable. I thought it was totally drawn, but suddenly there was nothing. I mean, anytime there's 2 pawns, it's very tricky. There's a lot of interesting endings, ops color bishops, where it's just like bishop and 2 against bishop. Ops color bishops, and it always depends on like how close the pawns are. I mean, I think that type of position is sometimes a draw with no pawns, you know. You got to have the exact right setup. But, you know, I used to think in games with ops color bishops were kind of boring, but the better I get, the more interesting they are, you know, and especially with rooks on the board or other pieces. Magnus. The only thing I like about Magnus is his endgame, to be honest. Shaki played a weird what was it some kind of Tarash? No, it was a Bogo Indian. Okay, Shaki, we only have a limited amount of games against. I thought it was kind of funny how we had no draws, because I have a solid style and often do have a fair number of draws, more than most players. But this couldn't have been the last game. We must have played something else. Ah. I've always enjoyed playing this variation with both sides. Very interesting. It's a very interesting game. Once I lost this embarrassing game with black that was published in Yasser's Inside Chess. With this variation with black, I lost in like 20 moves. My opponent never moved his central pawns. That is not considered to be, I believe, a theoretical move. Not recommended. Bishop f8. A little bit outside the normal. Bishop e7, however, is regarded as a good move, or used to be. But you've certainly taken me out of my home prep here. Never can say I've seen anyone play bishop f8. No, bishop e7 is an old idea. There was a game, I remember when I first saw that I was dismissive of it, but there was a game in Dynamic Chess Strategy by Suba. I think he talks about it, and Joel Benjamin and a bunch of American players played it for a while, back in the late 80s, early 90s. It's a Bogo Indian sort of move. I don't know. It's okay. It's a closed position with lots of pawns on the board, and knight takes e7 increases black's development. So, if you really love the two bishops like I used to, you think, oh, it's an automatic advantage, but not necessarily. I think one of my weaknesses when I was younger was that I would overestimate the advantage of the bishop pair a lot of times, dogmatically, sort of Uber driver style, to the point where it was like way too dogmatic. As I've gotten older, I've been a little more cautious about categorically thinking like bishops are always better than knights. Of course, when you win a lot of games with something, you know, it's natural to assume that it's good. I won a lot of games with the bishops. But don't take it too far, you know. So it's basically an old Indian for black. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just the standard old Indian. I'm not up tempo. That's weird. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Strange how that worked out. Okay, c6 is not always played in the old Indian early. I think knight d7 is forced. That's the only good move for black here. There was this weird account from Spain, I don't remember his name, but he was playing like c3 with white every game, and he would just like automatically transpose to this formation no matter what. With both colors. Sergio something. I'm not a big fan of that, but it's plausible. Well, no, I mean, if you play bishop e7, then I'm going to take it in some lines. It's different. I mean, he did literally transpose to an old Indian. Bishop g5. Not that effective here, like against some things. But I think it's okay. ST Brown, people just don't show up. Don't be offended if you get a forfeit victory. Though generally they mostly happen in the first round. He was here before. I mean, sometimes people, they got attacked by land sharks, or someone came to the door. Maybe their wife is like beating them with a broom for playing chess too much all the time. Maybe they had to go to the corner liquor store. There's a lot of reasons. I used to play in like serious tournaments and like leave the board, go downstairs, walk across the street, buy beers during my tournament games, sneak them back into the Hungarian Chess Federation so I could drink them in the smoking room while I was playing in like serious tournaments. There's a lot of reasons why people could leave, you know, potentially. Alright. Oh, the Simon Williams. Yeah, I know Simon Williams had this video series on that. I wouldn't be inspired by playing the old Indian against everything, but it is very all-inclusive. If you just need a simple repertoire, I guess it's alright. But I have too much pressure on e5 here. He's not going to be able to do that, you know. Notice that I didn't play e4. This is an important, like, factor. I have a lot of pressure on his e5 pawn. What's he gonna do, you know? He's got a problem. And g5 doesn't look right to me. I think he has to play solidly there. Maybe this saves him, though. Maybe knight h5 isn't that bad. This resolves the immediate problem for him with the e5 pawn. I'm not sure that solves all of his problems. There are some interesting lines, like pawn takes pawn and knight takes g3, pawn takes d6, knight takes rook, pawn takes e7, where I sacrifice. I could literally like sacrifice the exchange. That's a little over the top. A little. Quite over the top approach. Is black threatening g4 here? No, I think the sensible thing to do, I guess, is like pawn takes pawn. Don't like making this exchange in general. ST Brown, who knows? This is a player you're talking about that doesn't come to these tournaments much, so I don't really know. Not a regular. We all have question marks. Yeah, pawn d6 is too much. It might even be good, but I'm not gonna go there. Against a bullet guy with like a fast time control. Church bells are ringing. I'm not Catholic, so I don't understand why that is. Living in a Catholic country. Why do they have church bells on Tuesday night? Holy Tuesday. IVYM subs. Tuna fish, Philly cheesesteak. Can you list the subs for me? Ham and cheese. There is knight d4. We leave the El Monstro on e5, but we have our own monstros. It's an interesting moment here, deciding what to do. White's better, but lots of options how to play this position. Really, pretty tough question. Don't like taking on e5 particularly. Castling queenside, a little risky. What if we just played knight d4? I'm going to opt for door number 2. I have the ability to castle on either side, depending. And black's king is much less clear. So I could castle either way, for sure. Meatball. I thought about opening a Philly cheesesteak restaurant in Budapest. I had this fantasy today about it. Didn't even know what like cheesesteaks are. Take f4. I mean Hungarians. I'm like they. Shaki's a little crazy. Mildly. Only mildly crazy. Where is he gonna castle again? I guess he's gonna castle queenside. Meatballs. The movie. Oh my god. Forgot that movie existed. I don't think I ever watched it from beginning to end. I think I'd rather watch like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Bad 80s comedies. Queen b6. What a move that is. Wow. Is all I can say. Queen b6 gets a serious wow. This guy's up to 22-29. 22-29 rapid. See, rapid's inflated. Everybody's rapids are inflated. It's universal. Now I have like f4. I want to weaken my position. As much as possible. It's hard to believe there's a Meatballs too. The first movie wasn't offensive enough. What am I gonna do? A3 with the idea of b4. I can't believe you just played that. I can't believe he just played knight g4. Nobody in the right mind would play that, right? It's really crazy. Wow. No, that's seriously crazy. He's playing like completely irrational chess that's like hung together by some kind of random tactics using very little time. Very strange. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable tactical bullshit by Black. The Queen B6 move in particular. It's so lucky that even is playable. And I just hung my whole position. Practically hung my whole position here. You have to be like entirely fearless of everything to play like this. Yeah, that's how you play. A bit of tuition. Intuition or tuition? Another miraculous tactic. It's amazing that everything works for Black here. Nothing short of incredible. I can't believe I put my knight on a4 and I completely missed the queen e1 check. This is unbelievable that he played knight g4. I can't even get over it. It has to be a bad move, but I just totally gave him the game. I just couldn't believe it that Black would play that move. Like, how can you be so fearless of your opponent? Like, anybody normal would have played knight f7 there. 100% of the time. I don't think like knight g4 even really works. But blundering queen e1 check is great. I mean, I could play like queen e2 or something. Probably still be okay. This is like the worst move ever. What I did here. Black's king is completely safe. Never have a threat. Just totally lost. I mean, I played like 3 blunders in a row. First of all, knight a4 is like unbelievable, stupid. But I was pissed that he has a playable position. I mean, white should have had a huge advantage. Black played the opening horrifically. It should have been almost lost. I can't believe I did this. What a position. Black is basically lost here. This must be like plus... If I just play f4 first, it has to be like +4. I bet it's like +4 if I play f4 first. It wasn't enough though. I was like, no, I gotta find a forced win. He'll probably get away if I play that. I have no threats whatsoever. I'm just down in exchange for nothing. Nice. Down an exchange and a pawn. The only good thing is that it's upscaler bishops, which at least gives me some kind of chance of a blunder. He just went crazy with b5. What? He just played b5. Just totally loses in one move. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't lose in one move, but it's not a good idea anyway. He let me back in the game completely. Now white is better. Not necessarily winning though. Nah, I blundered. Black's play in this game, he's like tactically brilliant, for lack of a better description. I would describe him as tactically brilliant. Well, as far as seeing moves for himself, right? Now he's like winning again. Didn't even see that move. Oh, he saw that. I wondered when he would see that. Interesting game. I feel like I had a chance, so it's been rewarding. Do you guys feel like I had a chance in this game? It's a very accurate move, Queen F2. I suspect. Not that one, though. We still have a chance. If my Centipon is like under 100 for this game, I would be very surprised. Black is probably like 70. Pretty horrific. I was completely better winning than lost, then totally winning, then totally lost, and then it was a draw. That's a great game. And that's rapid chess. Imagine if it was like Blitz or Bullet. The horrors of fast time controls. Winning, lost, winning again, totally lost, and then a draw. Phew. I bet I can't possibly be under 100 Centipon loss on this. That's like one of the worst games I've played in a long time. I definitely played worse than Black overall. I'd be very surprised if my Centipon lost. I managed, let's see. Totally lost. Do we have time? Look at that. That was the opening? No, that was the second stage, where I was very briefly winning again. Look at the statistics. It's unreal. Wait, you didn't make any inaccuracies, you only made blunders. Okay. We both only made blunders, no inaccuracies, practically. That's very strange. I've never seen anything like that. No mistakes for either side. 3 inaccuracies for white, 2 inaccuracies for black, but 6 blunders for white and 5 for black. I have never seen a game where that happened. Never. Nothing in the middle, only like 3 tiny inaccuracies, 3 tiny inaccuracies, 6 blunders, 5 blunders. I wasn't totally winning in the beginning, it was just +1. So it's not true I was winning. I was clearly better. Then I was totally lost. Then I was totally winning. Then I was totally lost. Then it was totally a draw. Then it was totally lost. And then it was totally a draw. Unbelievable. I was lost again after b5. Oh my god. What? What? Everything wins for black here. Squeeze me? Bishop c5, a4, bishop b6. Holy shit, that's crazy. You know, I bet a lot of grandmasters would like miss that. That's a really messed up position. I mean, I bet a lot of strong players would overlook this. And you're just winning. Damn, like a one-move win. That's crazy. So instead of playing b5, I have to play a4 first, which is like more flexible. I don't understand how our center-pawn loss can be like 60 with that many blunders. How can it possibly be that low? Whew, that was... I never saw so many blunders. Yet no mistakes. It's a miracle I didn't lose. I'm playing. Join the game. Enjoy the game. Sorry guys, I didn't get to check out any of the other games. Testosterone. Uh-oh. And that was 10+5 and the garbage game still, man. Blitz is just hopeless. Forget about Blitz. Even Rapid sucks. Testosterone. Alright, this is an important game. I don't want to leave the board. I just want to see the standings. Is it illegal to see the standings of the freaking tournament here? Thanks to Mr. Coffee for donating 1,000 bits earlier. 1,100 to be exact. Gift subs, anyone? Make this stream rich again. Man, we're trying to play the worst possible chess here. Please don't play the Grand Prix attack against me. Come on, man. You have to do this. Gift a sub. Make chess great again. I have to play knight d4. There just is no other move. You know the variation. No, this is kind of more rare, honestly. I don't even know what this is, honestly. It's weird. I'm on my own here. Now, I'm on my own. G6, D4. Queen A5 check, knight C3. And almost offer to resign there. It's just too easy to resign. I don't know what we're supposed to play here. No one plays this line. I think I've played d6 before. That doesn't seem great either. Then what do we do? I have to confess, I don't really like this. A6 and E6. Like a bad... Yeah, that seems bad. I don't like creating more weaknesses in my position. Maybe like d4, bishop d7 with a tempo. It becomes basically a kind of Moscow variation. Check over. I always want to call that the Moscow variation. Check over. Maybe because it can transpose from the Moscow variation. With bishop e5 check. I want to call it that. The check over variation where like the queen takes d4. I suppose, yeah, this can transpose. I want to play this so as to gain a little bit of, time for development. Then knight c3 or c4. So it's closely related, like bishop e4 check. Whatever that is, check. b5. Where's Arsenal fan? Tuesday night poker for me. Didn't happen this week. Not a lot of options. This sucks. I don't like this. This is not great. Yeah, so it's a transposition to a sort of Moscow variation. Not a great line for black, I don't think. I suspect the white is better here. It's almost like I have an inferior Moscow variation. Am I down a tempo? My bishop's on d7 instead of like on c6, which is kind of worse. My bishop would normally be like on c6 immediately, right? e5, anyone? No. It's not happening. If knight b5, no. Taking that. He's got bishop f4, though. Try bishop f4. I mean, there are some cases where the bishop might be better here. It's not after being attacked. I have to say I really didn't enjoy today's openings too much. Last game should have been very good for me. But I was unconvincing. Here again, unconvincing. What happened to Uber Driver? Did he like quit? Is he still here? I need to check out the tournament. Alright. So tournament standings. It's only round 3. Cheesemate's in clear first. He's playing Camel Culture. Wow. Camel Culture lost a game. What? I don't understand. I'm totally confused. I don't understand. Camel Culture lost a game to who? And I can't, my scroll button doesn't work right. I don't understand who Camel Culture lost to. He lost to Cheesemate. That makes Cheesemate 3-0. Cheesemate's playing Shocky. I'm playing this game. Shocky's playing Cheesemate. Testosterone's playing me. Camel Culture's playing El Shakmat. Sue Maharis playing Uber Driver. Okay. Stat bargains. 2. A lot of 2s. You're a joy. Yeah, I know I'm in the game. Did I just miss the window? Okay. Here. Is everything okay now? Good. Mr. Gregory has followed. Thanks for following. What happens if I turn notifications back on? We turned them off. What happened earlier? Sean Pinto resubscribed Tier 1 for 8 months. That was quite a while ago and I missed it. I think I missed it. Thanks, Sean. So... I remember years ago I had a game where I did like f6 in a similar position. That's just horrific. It wasn't the same. It was something different where I was like obliged to do it. Queen c7 looks slow. Obviously Queen a5. I'm like it feels like a tempo down. Moscow variation, tempo down. That's not good. Yeah, I don't like tempo down. That's not cool. Tempo down is not cool. I am not fond of being a tempo down in the Moscow. What is going on? Like, why am I full move down? Full move. I would really classify Testosterone as an attacking player. He's got schematic attacking system here. So trading queens seems like not the kind of thing he would necessarily prefer. Round 6 coming up. Acerbate, wait, not quite. Next tournament 1 plus 30. Interesting, Mr. Coffee. Maybe we could try something like that. So what kind of interesting rapid time controls could there be with like a small base time and a high increment? What would be a rapid? What interesting time controls could we come up with? Like 1 plus... Is that really rapid? 1 plus 30? It's not. That's not rapid, right? Is it? It can't be. That's gotta be blitz. Is 1 plus 30 really rapid? No. What's the how does it work? What's the minimum base time for it to be a rapid game? Or is there such a contingent? Like, does there have to be a minimum, like, base time? One plus 30 is rapid, wow. Someone was saying earlier, Testosterone was saying earlier that the Bandana Man does that. Has done similar stuff. I like treating queens. I'm asexual. Alright, that sounded awkward, but whatever. I'm just joking around. I hope I didn't offend any asexual people. The formula is base time plus 2/3 the increment. Must be between 8 and less than 25. I'll leave it to you, man, to decipher that. In English, base time plus 2/3 the increment time must be between... Yeah, so the increment 2/3 of 30 is 20. So 20 is between 8 and 25. I'm really gonna pass my SAT. Man, I'd like to know, like, what would I get on a standardized test if I took it now. All those years later, it wouldn't be good. I was afraid to go to, like, grad school because I would fail, like, the GREs, to be honest. One of the reasons why I never applied to graduate school, I would have, like, failed my standardized test to, like, get in. Oof. Sitting on my B5 square. The perch. Pike perch. Very positional. I think Testosterone is, like, related to Zen chess. Testosterone and I have played just a mere 77 games. Nothing. Uber Driver's at 98 now. You guys aren't around enough. Very infrequent guests here. You need to make these Hungarian beers bigger. Or, you know, European-sized beers. I think it was enough, just one. At least I got the queens off the board, so I'm not going to get like brutally checkmated immediately, even though I'm worse. But I seriously need to get my pieces out. B5 square is a problem. Rook C8 is an interesting move. It's weird to give up the A file, but it might be necessary at some point. Rook A5, provocative. I mean, knight B5 is a serious issue. Knight C7 is mate, man. I am not too thrilled about that. Well, F6 isn't as bad as it was. It would leave me with problems getting my knight out. Alright, I'm gonna play this. As strange as it seems. Alternate file. +10. I've got time. You know, we could make the tournament a little bit longer. I was actually thinking of doing 6 rounds. The exchange sack. Aesthetically pleasing chess by Chesstosterone. Master of aesthetically pleasing chess. Is it time to press the panic button yet? I think it's getting there. It's getting very near there. I'm glad I'm not playing like Kamsky or something. That would be bad. This would be bad enough against Chesstosterone, but if my opponent was like a GM or a really strong technical player, I might just resign. I just want to resign. Sir Wright. The brig brains. If anybody's interested in taking lessons, by the way, I haven't really advertised lately. Like a lot of people are always looking for more students. But let me know because I think we have some availabilities. It's been a long time since I was advertising for lessons. But I've had a number of people either ghost me or just like have to stop because I suck as a chess coach. But seriously, should I take with the knight here? Man, I have big problems. This position is very bad. By the way, check out Dr. Tripchance. Also, hi, and I hope you're having a nice day. Thanks, Moobot. Little advertising from the Moobot. Look at that king centralization. What is black doing? What is black doing here? Speaking of Daniel King. Oof. Hanging on by the fingernails. I give special classes in hanging on by your fingernails. I'm a master of defensive acrobatics. I rarely get a chance to show my defensive skills. But this looks like an appropriate moment where defensive skills might be necessary. Chesstosterone using a lot of time. He makes a reasonable move, yes? Are there tactics, sir? Well, I think it's time to develop. The time has come. Knight d5 sacrifices. Not necessarily going to happen in the end game. The old Velimirovich knights. Not really a major issue. Hopefully. Just last round playing very correctly. Using his time. White is better. White's been better since the beginning. I butchered the opening, as usual. Although I didn't make any obvious mistakes. I'm kind of not really sure what I did wrong. At the end of the day, it doesn't seem like I should be losing. You know, I was expecting this move last move. It's pretty much his only try, you know, to make direct progress. Nice knowing you, Bishop. One thing I've learned from the engine, though, is always look for little unexpected moves. So there's two possibilities. No, scratch that. There's even three. I mean, I could play knight e8, but I mean, this is a really bad... This is a really bad thing to have to do. The original plan was rook c6, be ugly, hedgehog defense. I can also play d5, that doesn't work, so we have to do ugly hedgehog defense. Take. Damn, dude, it's godlike play by white. Perfect. He didn't do it? Rook d2. Don't play rook c8 here. Now I can play knight e8 if necessary. Wonderful, isn't it? I also have rook a5 though. Rook a5's pretty active. Ooh, active. Ooh, it controls e5 too. He should have done that thing last move. I could sack the exchange. Too fancy. I mean, you could sack the exchange, but I think it's... Not sure if it's it's a losing attempt, or... You know, who am I trying to win for if I sack the exchange here? B5 doesn't work. Rook c5's interesting. What's my plan? I think I need to just grab space. He has this nasty check now, though. It didn't work previously. He found that. Master had that move. I think I made a mistake there. That was a bad move. The only thing saved me is the time pressure. I should have played g5 before. Whoa. That's kind of bad news. He is Nimzovich. Thought he was Nimzovich. Turns out he is. Wow. Incredible play. I'm just waiting to like blunder and lose any moment. How haven't I like blundered and lost yet? That's a really good question. I guess this is a bad idea. I do have knight h5 though. Maybe the first move he's made that I wasn't sure I liked for him. It's actually not that bad though. Now I can definitely sack the exchange. Still probably not a good idea. Unbelievable. What are you doing over there? Anyway. Just curious. Oh, nice. That's what he's doing over there. He's a good blitz player. Gotta give him credit. I have 2 connected passed pawns. Believable. Don't really want to trade. And bring your king in the center. I could play f3. F3. Knight takes c4 is a cute move, but it probably doesn't work. How about other moves? What an effort. Cheesemate has a perfect score. Wow. Oh my god, look at Shockey versus Cheesemate. It made our game look good. It was 119 cent upon last for white, 92 for black. Why even play rapid chess if it's gonna be 100 cent upon loss anyway? My game with Chessnostrone not as sloppy. This was pretty good, man. I got 18 CPL with 6 inaccuracies, 1 mistake. But the opening was totally crap. What did I do wrong? It's just a bad line. So you have to play e5 here. Bishop c6. Ugh. Dude, is this a bishop e5 check transposition? Cornet, the wife of Cornet. No, it's not book theory. This position has never been reached. He's just better here, man. But, you know, not so easy to win it. He managed to maintain an advantage. I mean, there was a point where like, Chessmaster could have done knight takes d6, rook takes d6, you know, e5, rook takes d6, king d6, e5, check, king c7, pawn takes f6, pawn takes f6, and go on to a rook end game where he has like 3 against 2 on the queen side and like 3 against 4 on the king side. I have 2 isolated pawns. Like, I don't know, you know, what's up with that end game. I have double isolated pawns, double pawns on the other side. He has like a perfect structure. But my gut instinct is that, like, it's probably still a draw, you know? Like, I don't know what it would be if it was like a king and pawn in game. I mean, I thought you would trade into that rook ending with a better structure and you're better, but I don't know if it's a draw or what it is. White's definitely better. I don't know, you know, if you're like winning or how serious winning chances you have against a good defender, but I certainly don't have any chances. I mean, and you can win any position, but you know, I'm probably never gonna win. So we have to stop cheesemate. Oh, cheesemate beat me 2.5 of the last 3. That's not cool. What's that about? You play the Trompowski or something? What do you play? Oh, God. I don't know. We haven't even played that many games. 17 games. I don't even know what he plays. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Great. G3. That's wonderful. Perfect. I think once I played this against him. Ah. Oh, that's interesting. Gives me a chance to try something weird. Okay. There's like no games with this. This was a recommendation I did on the Chess World. It's funny how few games there are in this position. It's almost never played. I may have played it against you before. Bishop takes f2 check. Anybody? No. Alright, I don't even know what to do now. Bishop e4 or bishop e7. Bishop e6 is possible as well. Looks a little much. He played his move like instantly. He like it move. What does this do for me? Maybe then I go back to e7. Bishop d2 doesn't do much. You may be mad. Yeah, you may be mad. Maybe like drunk or taking drugs. You actually like bishop takes f2. Yeah, because you play bullet chess all the time. Or maybe bug house. Crazy house. I'm just kidding. Nah, he has stuff like queen d4. What am I gonna play? You know, it doesn't work. He's thinking. Good. Think. I think if you played e5 after my d5, you know, there was one interesting possibility where I could play knight h5 and try to stop you from playing f4. I don't think that you can be, you know, you're ever worse though. Cheesemate disconnected. Yes. Let's take it down with a forfeit. Wow, he went knight c3. Did this transpose to something again? I didn't expect that. That's a gutsy move. I don't know why I'm saying it's gutsy, but it sounded good. Just the normal move, right? It's a gutsy and normal move. My other option is to like go pawn hunting with like queen c7. Damn. That's a real thing, but extremely dangerous. I remember I tried playing a line like that against Foigle once. I find it difficult for both sides though. I played it with white too. Similar lines. But that's typically with like a6 in. Here you're pinned. If I play queen c7, you could play even maybe bishop d2. Queen c7, bishop g2, sack the pawn. Queen c4 castles, double pawn sack. So this is current position d5. I like it because bishop c5 there's almost no games. You know, it's just like, it's the only way to get white out of some kind of standard theory. What is this now? Takes, knight d2. I mean, I've played these types of endgames with white too. He's probably better if I do that. But what are my options though? Castle. What other option is there, man? Why am I thinking about that? You got a castle. Although I suppose I should consider knight c6. Taking these in with a better endgame, I would assume. Maybe next move. I'm remembering a game I played like millions of years ago with white. Bishop g5. That's weird. Absolutely not what I expected. Interesting move though, huh? I was sure he would castle. So this bishop is really strong in this kind of symmetrical English. But I feel like black is maybe okay. Maybe okay. That's really optimistic. Maybe okay if you're like Leiko, Peter. Wow. So what do I do? Knight d7? How do I get out of this? Knight d7? He just takes the pawn back? e5? No. Unbelievable. Bishop g5 was such a freaky move. If I wanted to play this kind of position, I would just play like a mainline English or something. I end up in the same type of thing anyway. It's really annoying. Knight a6 maybe. Knight d7 is the same thing. Takes. Like what do I do? Knight c5 or something? How do I maintain the blockade? I have knight b6. This is reminding me of the last game. Strangely similar to the last game, knight b6. Seems like a weird thing to do. I'm just worse though, aren't I? I like how everyone that I play who's like 2100 is better in the openings than I am. chalk it up to like Chessable or something. Do you guys like digest Chessable courses? Every opening I've like clear disadvantage. I'm used to that though. I've always been like that. Knight b6 doesn't seem right, but I don't know, man. His knight on c4 is awfully strong. I feel like Chessable is probably like really overrated. Just teaching people to like memorize moves, that can't be the right way. Knight b6. It sounds cool though. It's a good marketing scheme. As far as actually helping people learn openings, I'm not sure. I can't believe you didn't take on b6. I think you should be investigated. You should definitely take on b6. I mean, not because I wanted you to. Like, why not? I mean, looks good. It looks like 95 is almost too aggressive. Bishop d7. Bishop takes b7, rook b8. It's an interesting idea. Sacking a pawn. I have knight d5. Chess babble. What about h6? Chess bubble. There's a proliferation. I feel like Cheesemate had an awesome position, but he like complicated instead of just going into the concrete like knight takes b6. Now he's still better, but maybe not as much better as he was. He can almost never be worse with that monster Catalan bishop on g2. Like, I just can't. That's why I don't want that kind of position. Why did I take on c4? Why did I allow a trade of queens? He played this bishop g5 move. I should have just played like h6 or something. This is so stupid. Yeah, seriously, why did I play this? D takes c4. D takes c4 was really dumb. Why would I do that? That is a seriously dumbass move. Man, now I have f5. f5, he goes back to e5. But it is a tempo, so there's something to be said for it. There is something to be said for it. Tempo is tempo. I also have like knight a4. Maybe I'm almost like winning. There's no way that I should be better in this game. I mean, seriously, if he just plays knight takes b6 and takes and castles, there's no way, like, in a million years I'm going to be better than, like, equal there. Now knight a4. But I could get cemented forever, like, in the queen side. On the queen side, like, death variation. This is not so easy. Knight a4, castles, knight c3, pawn c3, bishop c3, rook d1, take, drops a piece. Okay. Well, at least it's interesting. I'm never going to develop my queenside pieces. It's absolutely brilliant. What? Maybe he got nervous and blundered. I don't know why anybody would be nervous with his position. He's been better until maybe knight a4, but even there he still has a3. He resigned. I mean, maybe he's actually lost now. Yeah. One blunder. He still has a3. He's still not lost. Yeah. He made 0 accuracy, 0 mistakes, 1 blunder. I made 0 accuracy, 0 mistakes, 0 blunders. That's hard to believe, man. I mean, I don't think I even like played that opening. I don't feel like I even played it correctly. And it says that I had like a really good performance. I don't know, man. I was just lucky. Bishop here. Check is best move. I mean, bishop d2 is simplest for you. There's very few games here. But this is interesting. Yeah, so someone actually played queen c7. I think it's dangerous, though. White could definitely sack a pawn or two. Look, it's Darshan Kumaran against Farintosh from 1992. Farintosh took the pawn. Old school. Oh no, this is another game of Dutch guys. Farintosh just, what did he do? So there is a Farintosh game. White played bishop d2, and he castled. Yeah, this is more ambitious than what I did. So d5 is a novelty. You play bishop g2, and then I castled. And then here, I mean, you surprised me with bishop g5. I don't, think you have to do that. Yeah, it seems like CD is more reliable. You could also try castling. I think that looks reasonable. But anyway, I should have just played h6. This is really weird. I mean, I took here. I think the endgame is just better for you, to be honest with you. I've played positions like this with white. It seems like you're just better with like no losing chances. I'm really lucky here. This didn't feel like the right move either. But this is a really big mistake. You just have to take and just be better, I don't think knight b6 is actually a dubious move, maybe. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I think it's actually like a very thankless position for black. I figured I'm just suffering after this. I have really no winning chances. So that was a huge blunder. Knight e5. Could keep the bishop now. And this is a weird move. And I'm lucky you didn't say 3. Yeah, I guess you ran out of gas. I mean, I don't know. I felt very fortunate, though. So, back to the tournament. We're lucky. Better to be lucky than good. Because I certainly wasn't good. 4.5, win the tournament. Uber Driver's coming back. Let's check it out. Stapvargan Uber Driver. Miki Deckhand, welcome back. Or Uber Driver or Stapvargan? Well, it had to be an e4 game because Uber Driver, there's no f5. Stapvargan he's an expert in the Stonewall Dutch, so this looks like it was some sort of, I want to say Sicilian. Yeah. Yep. It was a Sicilian. You've been tortured in those lines. The London system with the black pieces. What? What are you talking about? Thanks to Mr. Coffee for the bit donations earlier. Guys, give a gift sub or subscribe. Appreciate we had a few subscriptions today. We had some new follow here from AARRO3. Thank you for that. A couple new follows. Mobin Jafarpour as well. Thanks guys for supporting the stream. Final round of the Sloth Swiss. Uber driver in the driver's seat. But Sapphirkin is tough. Uber driver found a way to lose against me in a very tough endgame where losing wasn't easy. Looks like this is going to be tough for Uber driver as well. 6 pawns each. Pretty simplified. But white's got some pressure. Knight d5. Knight d5, queen where? And I lost the game against Sapphirkin in my Simul on Sunday where he sort of did this Houdini thing with his king. I thought I was better and I lost. Snapdragon. Well, that was what it was. We thought it meant Snapdragon. It sounds like Snapdragon. I totally forgot. Snapdragon. Knight d5. Well, discovered check. Anyone? Discovered attack. That's what's going on in Uber Driver versus Snapdragon. And then there's also El Shachmat playing against Shaki. Ooh, Shaki taking him down with the bishop. Sorry, the rook endgame with 2 connectors. That looks pretty straightforward. Oh, Shaki's using no time on tilt. What happened to Camel Culture? What'd you guys do to him? Camel Culture lost against Cheesemate, and then, man, he had a bad day. 2.5 out of 4. Packed it in. Testosterone still battling against Ludwig. Ludwig's back. Here we go with 2 connected pawns again. Uh-oh. Fortress. Ooh, Testosterone. Testosterone's using his time well. Look at that time use. Milking the increment with the winning position. Also used his time well against me. So kudos to Testosterone for setting a good example as far as rapid tournament time usage. Asterbait getting 2 wins at the end against Niles and XZYT now. Asterbait back-to-back victories to get to 2 out of 5. Voiju had a rough tournament, still playing with Kwang. I can't click on this game for some reason. There it goes. Voiju in very bad time pressure. Approximately equal position. Yes. Take with the pawn toward the center. It's approximately equal. I mean, black's central majority of pawns might be offering him a little bit of advantage. The Magician. Oh, whenever you play the Benoni against me, oh, it turns into the Catalan. You're talking about that, Dr. Tripchan. So you're just gonna play d5, like a Slav. Yeah, Slav is the London reversed. Alright, let's go back to our other top board. So, Cheese may finish with 4. I win the tournament with 4.5. Testosterone with 3.5. But it's a question of they can catch Cheese maybe? Can Uber drivers, or do they have enough tie breaks? No. Because, I mean, Cheese played me. He has good tie breaks. 11. Can Uber driver possibly pass him on, or match him on tie break? Maybe. I'm sure the Sapphirkin can. Uber driver is going to try to make up for his losing a drawn position against me by winning what was probably a drawn position. but not an easy one. So white has quality pawn structure. Very little counterplay here for black. I mean, well, non-existent. You're basically just down a pawn at this point. But it might be holdable. Because the king and pawn game there, like, first of all, could you play rook e6? Nah, I don't know. No, probably not. You have to go back. Yeah, that sucks. You can't allow the king and pawn game. White's got too much space. Not sure what Uber Driver's doing. He seems to be crossing the river. So he has some sort of plan here. He's preventing penetration while maybe getting his king over to the majority. Looks like he's winning. Or not. Zapvargan has counterplay though. There is a flaw in the ointment. He missed it though. He had rook d4. You know, after rook d4 it looks really hard for White to make progress. So Uber Driver sort of swindled him there. He snuck... Oh, he went back? What happened? Wait, what did he do? Uber Driver... Okay, so this is still an issue. It didn't matter. So eventually he's pushing the pawn. Okay. That's strong. Can the rook come down? This is a passive position for the rook. Now the white king is going to come over. It looks like white is winning. F5 is hanging as well. Oh boy. This doesn't look good. Zapvargan has to activate immediately. I think it's too late. If there's any chance to win, to save the game for Zapvargan, he would have to activate his rook. I mean, I thought like there might have been a moment, you know, where he could do rook down. No? But it's probably too late already. It looks like he's lost. There's no counterplay on the king side. He's going to try this. It shouldn't matter. I mean, he doesn't have any counterplay. Here. Actually, either move, there or there. That's the move I like the least, actually, rook e8. It doesn't attack anything. You see, if he played one of these moves, he would be on these pawns. Now the king's going up to try to go down here, and like Zapvargan can get some counterplay. Uber Driver a little bit underestimated his counterplay. He's just doing his thing. I'm not sure about that though. I mean, should we take this pawn on h3? That was weird. He didn't take the pawn on h3. He went for the one on f4. But what the heck is the difference? Ah, it's lost. Uber Driver's king is like gonna get in too quickly. I'm not sure if it mattered. Probably black was lost all the way. This should be a win for white. Prestidigitator. But I enjoy this time control better than Blitz, I have to say. It's still not enough. Maybe sometimes I'll even set it for longer. 10 plus 15, 15 plus 5. We did 15 plus 5 on a previous edition. Nah, it's over. It's over. So Uber driver wins. What is his tie break? 7.5? Not enough? Or does that not count the 5th round game yet? It won't matter. He'll only get like 3 for tie breaks, so he won't challenge She's Made for 2nd. But he will get 3rd. Uber driver gets 3rd with a win with 4 points. She's Made was 4-0, had a very nice performance until he lost against me on a 1-move blunder. Oh my god, what is happening? Yeah, cutting it close here. Talk about cutting it close. How did he even get that close? I don't understand. He was like cut off. Wait, here, here, here. Oh, he played that? Like if you play King D4, the guy's king is cut off. Very bad technique by Uber driver. He has to bring his king to D4 at King D3 and walk around, and he's never going to get anything. But he let him in there. It's a tough tournament, though. Oof. Uber driver is now... Oh my gosh. Wouldn't it be better to do like King H3 there? This is a technical win, though. It's almost like Uber driver is slow rolling him, like trying to torture him or something. This is a win, right? I just forget how. Oh yeah. No, you just... Yeah, you just lose the tempo. Any child could do it, right? Does that work? Right. Knight H1. Don't panic, dude. He's not making progress. Now you have Knight H1 here. I don't think that was the winning move, but white should have a winning move. Yeah, that looks different, like a different story. But it does feel like Uber driver sort of slow rolled him on purpose to torture him. He has frustrations from the earlier ops color bishop endgame he lost. Torturing the opponent is not nice. No, I'm not sure. I don't know. He might have been slow rolling him. Alright. But that was never a draw. But what was the opening? Dragon? Oh. Dragendorf? Dragon Marazzi. Oh, Uber driver played F3 against the Najdorf. Okay. Never been seen before. So the tournament final standings. Yeah, Uber driver is 3rd. I had a 2600 performance. Not so convincing, though. I mean, to be honest, the first game was tough against Shachmat. The second game was probably a draw. The third game, well, I was totally lost. The fourth game, I was lucky to get a draw. And like, the fifth game, I was lucky to win. So I don't feel like I deserve to win the tournament, honestly. I mean, I just wasn't playing convincing chess. I guess I was as good as anybody else, though, you know, at the end of the day. Cheesemate had 4 out of 5 for 2nd place. Uber driver, 4 out of 5 for 3rd place, losing that tough game against me. But he was very impressive. Both of them were very impressive. And then Shaki with 4th place. I miraculously escaped against him. Testosterone played well. 5th place, Stapvargan. 6th place, Sumaher. Didn't get to play today. Quam Camel Culture got shut down, but thanks for playing. And El Shachmat finishing out in 10th place. Acerbate, of course, 2 wins at the end. Nice job. We had a total of 25 players. Thanks to everybody for playing. We'll be back tomorrow morning with some weird openings, rapid chess, and I think I'm gonna do. We'll do a raid of Angelica Chessborn, or Tranquilizer. What's Tranquilizer doing? Tranquilizer, I don't know what he's doing. All right, we'll do an Angelica raid. She's got some viewers. Take care, guys. For Ukraine. Weird Rapid Wednesday.